So the last few days we've been looking at different types of transformations. We started with some rigid transformations. The first transformation we did was translations, and we looked at some of the relationships with the coordinates between the pre-image and the translated image. And then we looked at reflections, and again we looked at the relationships between the coordinates in the pre-image and the reflected image. Today we're going to look at what we notice when we rotate an image about a certain center. So let's open up rotations. I have an open grid here. There's nothing there, and we'll just use the tools and explore a bit. What I want you to do is create your own triangle. So I'm going to create my own triangle here. And it really doesn't matter where the triangle or what it looks like. There's my triangle. And I'm going to show labels for that. Let me see what I do for that. Labeling. What did I do for showing the labels? Here we go. Alright, so now I have a labeled triangle ABC. And what I want to do is I'm going to recenter this. So I'm going to move to this. And I might actually zoom out a little bit so I can work with it better. So what I want to do is I want to rotate this 90 degrees. And if we're moving in the positive direction, we're moving from quadrant 1 to quadrant 2, and we continue positive direction. It's actually counterclockwise. So if I move 90 degrees in this positive direction, it's the same as moving negative 270 degrees. Okay. If I move positive 270 degrees, I will move to this quadrant here. Well, that's the same as moving negative 90 degrees if you look at it that way. Okay, so I'm going to rotate, let's just rotate it 90 degrees at a time. Okay, so I'm going to make a point. We're just going to start with using the origin to rotate things. So we're going to rotate this image here about the origin. So there's a tool here. I'm going to look at this tool here. Oh, this one here, we've already done reflections. So we're going to rotate this image. If I click on the middle about this center here, and I'm going to say I want to rotate it actually 90 degrees. Let's just do that and see what we notice. Okay, and it's even labeled it A prime, B prime, C prime. We're going to look at the relationships that we notice with these points here. Okay, so A prime, B prime, C prime. And then I'm going to go ahead and do that again. I'm going to rotate again. So I'm going to rotate this. And this time, you could probably guess, I'm going to rotate it instead of 90, I'm going to go 180 degrees. Okay? And now it's labeled it A prime 1, B prime 1, C prime 1. And again, I'm going to do that again. And I'm going to do it at, I could do negative 90 instead of 270, and that should be the same. Okay, and it's labeled it, and all of them are corresponding. Now some of the things we might notice are, what do you notice about the distance from the center for each object? If we're rotating it, that distance should stay the same from the rotation point, because that's the center of the circle. And I can use my circle tool to actually show that. So if I use this tool here, okay, I can go ahead and see how it snaps to the grid. And that shows that B prime, B prime 1, and B prime 2 are all equidistant from the center. Okay, and I could do that again for A. So we notice the same for A. Let me undo that, label that letter. Okay, so let's see, we'll do that again. There we go. And one more time. So, and we notice that for C, okay? Those are all the same distance, okay? And then I'm just going to take a screenshot of this image. And this is the image that shows all four, the same image rotated in all four quadrants. So we're going by 90-degree increments.